It was early morning, the sun just beginning to peek out from behind the trees. I had been running late, and my heart pounded against my chest as I rushed towards work. As I ran past the abandoned building on Hindenburgstrasse, something caught my eye. There, sitting on top of the roof, was a man. He appeared to be wearing some kind of dark uniform, and his eyes seemed to glow brightly in the dim light. For a moment I thought perhaps he was a guard stationed up the building. But then, suddenly, the figure leapt off the roof and landed on the ground below with a deafening crash. Before I could even process what had happened, the man sprang up onto his feet, revealing 2 large black ears that had not been there a moment ago. His body began to contort, his limbs stretching and twisting until he became covered in thick fur. Before me stood a full-grown wolfman. Trembling with fear, I backed away slowly, hoping not to draw attention to myself. But the creature seemed not to notice me as it howled into the sky, a loud, mournful sound echoing through the street. Suddenly, it turned towards me, baring its teeth. In panic, I broke into a run, hearing the heavy footsteps of the wolfman closing in on me. My legs burned as I pushed myself harder than I knew possible, my lungs feeling like they would burst. Just as I thought I couldn't go any further, I saw the gates of the Tier Park ahead of me. With renewed energy, I threw open the gate and raced inside. In the distance, I heard the sound of police sirens approaching rapidly. With relief, I realized help was finally coming. But as I looked around, I noticed that the animals within the park were acting strange. They seemed restless and agitated, as though sensing some sort of impending danger. Suddenly, a great roar shook the earth beneath us. Turning towards the noise, I watched in terror as the werewolf emerged from the bushes. Its eyes glowed red-hot, focused soullessly on finding prey. And then, without warning, the other animals in the park began to transform as well. Lions and tigers and bears. Oh my, oh my, all manner of wildlife. The last thing I remember is darkness descending upon me, and then nothingness. When I awoke, I found myself lying in a makeshift hospital room. The doctor explained that I had been brought in after being found unconscious near the Tier Park. There was no sign of the werewolf or any evidence of the bizarre transformation of the animals within the park. The police had cordoned off the area, and experts from all across Germany were arriving to study the phenomenon. But despite their efforts, no answers were forthcoming. The only thing they could say with certainty was that somehow, some way, the Nazi experiments with lycanthropy had continued beyond the end of World War, i.e., producing unforeseen consequences. What they didn't know was that the source of these experiments lay deep within the ruins of Hitler's bunker. For you see, the Führer had ordered a select group of scientists to continue working on Project Werewolf in secret. Their task was to create an army of super soldiers who could fight alongside them in battle, possessing superhuman strength and speed, able to tear apart enemy armies with ease. These men were known as Übermensch, superior men, bred to be stronger and faster than any mere mortal could hope to achieve. But somewhere along the line, things went wrong, and instead of creating an army of invincible warriors, they ended up with, as time passed, the Allies closed in on Berlin, and the once grand city crumbled under the weight of bombardment and invasion. Yet the work did not stop, and amidst the chaos and destruction, the werewolves continued to be developed and deployed. By the end of the war, countless lives were lost at the hands of these monsters, and many still whisper tales of entire battles fought by these terrible creatures. Some claim to have witnessed a massacre so brutal that it changed the course of human history forever. Over time, sightings of these werewolves decreased and eventually stopped altogether, leading many to believe that they had simply gone extinct. But the truth was far more sinister. The scientists had succeeded in creating a powerful and deadly breed of werewolves, but they had also unleashed a terrible curse upon themselves and their descendants. The curse lay dormant, waiting for the right moment to strike. Years passed, and the abandoned building on Hindenburgstrasse remained empty and forgotten. But then, one dark night, a group of unsuspecting teenagers stumbled upon the ruins. They entered the building, unaware of the danger that lay within. It was then that the curse was awakened. One by one, the teenagers were hunted down and killed by the werewolves that had been created so long ago. And as the creatures roamed the streets, more and more people fell victim to their savage attack. Panic gripped the city as the authorities struggled to contain the outbreak. In the end, it was discovered that the curse could only be broken by finding and destroying the original source of the experiments. A team of brave soldiers was sent to explore the ruins of Hitler's bunker, armed with the knowledge that they were risking their lives to save the world. What they found within those walls was beyond anything they could have imagined. The experiments had gone far beyond lycanthropy and had delved into dark and forbidden realms of science. The soldiers fought bravely against the monsters that lurked within, but many of them never returned. In the end, it was a lone survivor who emerged from the ruins, bearing with him the evidence of the atrocities that had been committed. The world was changed forever, as the horrors of Hitler's twisted vision of a superior race were finally revealed. And though the werewolves were defeated, the memory of their reign of terror still lingers in the minds of those who survived. For just $3 a month, you can have your name featured in my YouTube videos and descriptions. Not only will you be supporting my channel, but you'll also be immortalized in the credits of my content. If you're looking for something a bit more personalized, consider becoming a $25 a month patron. I'll voice your stories and bring them to life on my channel. Create a special drawing just for you, or even write a unique story tailored to your interests. So don't hesitate. Join my patron community today and help me keep the spooky stories coming. And remember, together we can save each other from the YouTube algorithm. Thank you for your support.